Is it just me, or have we been transported back to like the 2010s? It's like there's a resurfacing of all of my obsessions when I was a tween. And it's just got me thinking a lot about how it makes me feel. Nostalgic. Welcome to another episode of BedTalks. Yes, I have a microphone because I am fancy like that. Today we are talking about nostalgia. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Google describes nostalgia as a sentimental longing or affection for a period in the past. For dummies, it means that you miss how things used to be or you have fond memories of the past. Don't get me wrong, the 2010s were in no way the best time of my life, but it marked the beginning of my descent into the black hole of the internet. Soft grunge Tumblr and Halsey x 21 Pilots x Arctic Monkeys mashups. I suppose it's a canon event for our generation. You know, like the people that were chronically online before parental controls were ever a thing. To this day, I can't understand how Courage the Cowardly Dog and The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack were allowed to be aired on Cartoon Network. These shows were like the definition of nightmare fuel, and yes, they were my favorites, and yes, that probably does explain why I love watching anything that makes me severely uncomfortable. Also explains why I loved Salad Fingers so much. Autism TikTok would have a field day with his rusty spoons. Somebody get the creator of Salad Fingers to animate him presenting his spoon to the community. But speaking of YouTube content, why did I say that like a news? Speaking of YouTube content, anyways, here's a fun fact. I was and always will be obsessed with Dan and Phil. Their videos carried me through some very dark times, and to this day they still do. Not just them, but the nostalgia of it, the excitement of a new video upload, the collaborations and stupid challenges that went viral, them returning to the public eye together, like literally together. Love them. It made me feel like I was young and innocent again, like I had permission to still be silly and goofy. It also helps that Dan Howell is pretty nice to look at. Surprise, surprise, I would still smash, but no, I'm not his type, because I'm a girl. But you best believe that I also watched every Markiplier video in existence, the king of Five Nights at Freddy's, and thus began my FNAF obsession. The second movie is coming out soon, which is another trip down memory lane. Like, people using the Living Tombstone songs just takes me back to Markiplier animations of moments from the game. My brothers still can't understand why I love watching people play video games instead of playing them myself. And first of all, games are expensive. Second of all, it makes me very anxious, which is partly my fault because I tend to play horror games. But again, the point is, watching other people play video games in and of itself is nostalgic for me. There's a fairly significant age gap between my brothers and I, meaning that a lot of my childhood was spent watching them play video games that I wasn't allowed to play. Let's just say that there was a scene in God of War that I really should not have been there for. I watched my brother play The Last of Us, and now I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with a lot of video games for someone who doesn't really play them. Now, one of my best friends and I take turns playing The Last of Us Part 2, and we switch every time that one of us gets too overwhelmed or anxious dealing with a horde of clickers. Point is, I was and still am a YouTube kid. Clearly. The return of YouTube trends and just things from the 2010s, it's making me feel so giddy and it's comforting. Nostalgia. But what makes you nostalgic? Let me know in the comments. I have been talking about myself way too much anyways. Before I head off, I just wanted to say a quick little thing. Your girl has finally released music onto streaming platforms. It's quite surreal that I have finally done this, and frankly, I am quite proud of it. So please check it out if you are interested. I believe that it's out on Apple Music, YouTube Music, Spotify, and Deezer. I will try to leave links in the description if I can manage to. I also just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much to all the friends and family that have listened to it and have shown me so much support. It means more to me than I think you guys will ever understand. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode and thank you for coming to my bed talk. Bye!